Well, well, well. Don't we have a lot to talk about? I haven't talked to you guys in a while, have I? Well, let's get right into it here. The first thing I want to say is rest in peace to DMX. Um, that death did something to me actually. It's like losing that old school uncle, and he had a lot of demons. He had a lot of demons, which he did his damnedest to be rid of them, and they just got the better of him, which is sad to say. Guy rested dead. Is It hurts, man, because it's like you look at everything that he has gone through and all the interviews that he's done. You know what I'm saying? And then to succumb to those demons, number one, and also to find out that his mentor, someone he looked up to, was the one that first started him off. That's that's crazy. That is crazy. But you got people out here that's like that. And even worse, he left behind the kids and everything. But good dude all around, man. Just a good dude all around. Um Jesus, everything. Miss Richardson, the track star. That I don't know what happens with media people. I I really don't, because how do how do you find out your biological mother dies during an interview? Who does that? Who tells somebody that? Like, oh, sorry, but your biological mom died shortly before the Olympics. Okay. Um I give her credit for holding her peace, and much love to Nike because they're standing by her. They said that they fully support her because she's going through enough right now. So big shout to Nike. But I haven't read any negative words yet, which I'm quite sure I'm quite sure is happening. I'm quite sure it's happening. But the thing is, ask yourself this. If it were one of your heroes, what would you do? Oh, I know what you would do. Oh, I'm going to stand by them because of this and because of that. Okay, well, guess what? You go ahead and you stand by your people. Because I'm going to stand by her. Because in my eyes, she did nothing wrong. And, it's... people is crazy, man, for real. Um, God, it's... How much I haven't talked to y'all in a while, man. So much stuff is going on. Damn, man. Now, I did mention that I was not going to speak on Bill Cosby because I'm not. Because number one, everyone has their different feelings about it, and I'm going to respect those feelings and not even talk about it. Not even talk about it. Let's see. What else happened? Oh, yeah. Donald Donald Rumsfeld passed away. Who really cares about that? Sorry if you do. Rumsfeld was just as crooked as all of them are, in my opinion. Um, God, I am so lost right now. Oh, it's like well, I haven't forgot how to do this because I usually speak my piece all the time anyway. I'm just it's just so much. I mean, the COVID restrictions got lifted. A lot of people agree with that. A lot of people did not agree with that. I, for one, agree with it. It's just for the simple factor of I walk around with a mask anyway. So several masks of that because you have some people up here that does not. They don't want to get vaccinated. They think it's a trick. They think that um, there's something in the injections. I'm vaccinated, so I can go do me. And that's the problem that most people don't get. By the way, this is a dual broadcast. I am recording now, and I'm also live on TikTok. So if anyone listens to this and sees me on TikTok, here we are. Hello to everyone that's on TikTok right now that's watching it. Um, yeah, a lot of people they don't agree with the vaccinations or whatever. I for one agree with it because I want to get back to my regular life. This is the time of year where I'm taking, my grandkids or my grandchild to the ballpark and taking my bonus son to the ballpark and having fun with them rather than, y'all remember how last summer was. Nobody wanted to be in the house, but we had no choice because no one was taking it seriously. So they had to clamp down. But now that everything is back to normal, you still have some people that don't care that they want to sit up here and just forget this. I'm not taking that vaccination. All right, cool. Just stay the hell away from me. That's all I gotta say about it. Just stay away from me. Um, talk about a little bit of sports here. Atlanta, Milwaukee. That's gonna go 7. Y'all might not agree with me, but I think it is. Phoenix is already in the finals for the first time since Charles Barkley was playing for them. That's good for them. Um, the Olympics are coming up. Um, there's there is something that is bothering me. When you, I was listening to some videos yesterday of people in relationships and how the dichotomy has gotten worse, in which it has. Because the entitlement has gotten to the point to where you can't even say hi to a person without them automatically thinking I'm going home with them. Not saying that that's happened to me personally because it hasn't. Thank God it hasn't. But there was a brother in this one conversation that I was reading that he felt like he is all but given up. I'm like, giving up? Like, dude, what do you mean giving up? You serious right now? Giving up? Giving up for what? Because why? And he gave some bitter answer, and I was like, yeah, whatever. Um, I don't know why people feel like hey, I'm just gonna give up on this or give up on that. Fine, give up on it, but you're missing out. You're missing out on a lot. Um, I understand there's supposed to be another stimulus coming out. What y'all think about that? I think if it does come out, a lot of people are, um, a lot of people gonna do more than what they need to do with whatever that they get. All I know I want to touch on these PPP loans. I swear to God, if I see one more person on any bit of social media talking about they about to go to jail for 5 years and they got to go fund me out, help me pay back my PPP loan, y'all don't read the fine print in the contract, do you? Did y'all know that getting that PPP loan, they pretty much own you? They own your business, and now it's even worse now because of all the fraud that's happened. They're checking everything. Because as always, it takes one person to screw it up for everybody. So all of y'all that's submitting these falsified paperwork and everything for these PPP loans, yeah, Wouldn't do it if I were you. Cause it was one young lady I saw. I think she was from Georgia, and this is living proof. This is proof positive, y'all. This is proof positive that they pay attention to what you're doing, especially if you have borrowed money from them. Old girl was on social media. I think she went down to Cabo, and she just all on the videos, just we down here getting it in. We getting it in down here. Okay. And then 2 weeks later, she was on Instagram, I believe, or I saw it on Instagram. She was crying and pleading, "Please help me. I I gotta pay the government back, or they gonna take my kids." Which makes me ask the question: did you even think about them before you decided to jump your ass up and go to Mexico? And then you thought that they weren't going to double check your stuff? Let me tell you something. When you get a loan from them, that's the worst. Them is the worst people to get a loan from, because they're going to get their money back one way or the other. Either you going to jail, or they'll garnish it. But to get that money, they may have given it to you, but the fine print in the contract and the catch was this: you have to document what all you're doing with that money in order for the loan to either be forgiven, or you don't have to pay that much back, or however it goes. But if you just sitting up here just thinking, okay, I got 50 grand to trick off and blow, you better have receipts. Because if you don't have receipts, guess what's going to happen? You're going to end up like old girl currently with a GoFundMe page. And the funny thing about her having that GoFundMe page was, when I checked it out, she had already had like 5 grand. A group of people sent her a grand total of 5 grand. What'd that tell y'all? But what I'm thinking is the people that helped her, that probably sent her that money, was probably trying to holler at her too, because I guess tears work for people. I don't know. Either way, maybe it worked, maybe it didn't. Couldn't tell you. I just know that I'm not going to get caught in that predicament. And let me tell y'all, my bank sent me about several attempts for me to get one of them loans. No, I'm good. 50 grand and you won't GoFundMe trying to get it back. Okay. Do what you do. One thing I do want to touch on is mental health. And I can go all day with mental health, because a lot of us suffer from things that a lot of people may not even know about. I need for everybody to understand something. Yes, I do have a business. Ask your mate if they're okay. Even if they're in a good mood, whatever the case may be. Ask them if they're okay. Because you know what? You never know. I have watched friends have full-fledged meltdowns because inside they were literally dying on the inside. And nope, it's like they felt like nobody cared. Whereas I'll ask you, I'll get on your last damn nerve asking you, hey, you all right? Because you may be, you might not be. But at least ask. Us as men, We're supposed to be the strong ones. Ask though. Ask if we alright. Because some days we not. Ladies, y'all as strong as they come. Okay? But sometimes y'all need a moment. I'm gonna answer that in 1 second. I'm taking questions on my live feed also. I was asked a question, yeah, but what's the probability that they will tell you the truth? Well, that would be on them. That's a communication thing. That's a trust thing. Because if the two of you have strong communication, no lies will be detected. No lies need to be told. If something is wrong, you should be able to go to your person and tell them, hey, something's wrong. I need to talk to you for a minute. If that person feels like they don't have the time, or, you know, they come off, if it gets to a point to where you can't talk to your person anymore, it's time to rethink some things. Because everybody, I don't care how strong someone thinks that they are. Everybody is dealing with something right now, coming off of COVID. Whether it's the loss of a loved one, the loss of a job, or just cabin fever, no matter what the case is. Bottom line is, ask. Because you don't know unless you ask. And, like I said, a lot of people feel like they don't need help. They don't need to be asked any questions, anything along them lines. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Because let me ask you this. Are you going to let it tear you up inside? I wouldn't. It's not worth it when all you got to do is open your mouth. And if people don't want to open their mouth, then they don't need to be around you. Because if they don't open their mouth to you, but open their mouth to somebody else, that tell you right there where you stand. What else out here is going on in the world? Auto industry is messed up too. A lot of layoffs because they're not coming out of parts. There's a there's a conversation that needs to be had in regards to accountability and why people refuse to accept it when it's the simplest thing to do. The simplest thing about accountability is this: if you did it, you did it. If a person asks you a question, they already know what happened. They just want to see what you're going to say. They just want to see what you're going to do. And if you can't give them that little piece right there, it's a wrap. Because if I ask you a question, just like I've had it said to me, if I ask you a question, I already know the answer. I just want to see what you're gonna say. If I ask you, did X, Y, and Z happen on this day? I already know it did. You don't admit to it, then I gotta hit you with receipts. Then it just ends up being one big ass argument that don't need to happen. And people don't get that. It's very simple. It's very simple to say, hey, I screwed up. I'm sorry, I screwed up. It's the hardest thing. Why is it that people make the simplest things the hardest? If somebody say they don't want to be bothered with you, next thing you know, you blowing up their inbox, you all in their DMs, all in their text messages. Yeah. With the Twitter fingers. Why? I don't know how many times that I've had to tell people the ratio from women to men these days is like 28-1. 28-1. Scary, ain't it? It's 28 women for one dude. So if that one dude can't get that one, you got 27 other opportunities. And if out of that 27 don't nothing happen, you might want to look at you and not the person. Because the person you going after probably ain't feeling you the way that you think. And some people have a very hard time nowadays dealing with rejection. I've seen situations to where people try to deal with rejection, and next thing you know, that person's on the news. That's not cool. Because guess what? If somebody don't want you, they're gonna do one or two things. They're gonna tell you, and some people don't comprehend English too good. But then when they start showing you, and if you not right in here, you're gonna think, oh, that's love. No, it's not. But see, you just gotta tell me just once. I ain't feeling you no more. Have a good life. That's it. It's that simple. But again, name me somebody nowadays that knows what simplicity is. Talk to me about somebody that everything is here, even ground, even kill. You can't. Why? Because nowadays everybody wants something for nothing. Nowadays it's gimme, 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 gimme. I want this. I want that. I want this. I want that. But what's really funny, and dudes have this problem. More dudes have this problem more than women. You write your mouth writes checks your ass can't cash. You'll tell a woman, I want a woman to be like this, be like this, be like this, be like this. And then when she does it, it's not enough, or it's too much, or you do something stupid. And it can go both ways. A woman may say, hey, I want this, 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 and this, and the dude give it, and it's either not enough, or because of past bad decisions, she's not able to fully grasp it. That's fair enough to say, because it's happened. Because when somebody has been played with, dogged, ran in the ground, etc., 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 and then someone genuine comes along, they're still stuck in the mindset of, okay, the last time I let somebody in, this happened. So if a man is not patient, I've had to learn this. If a man is not patient, he will not get the one he wants. Because men have a problem with holding women accountable for past sins that have nothing to do with anything. Okay, if the last dude did her wrong, don't become a carbon copy of that dude. She's going to hold on to that because that's her security blanket for right now. That's what people don't get. Everybody has a security blanket. And why they have that security blanket is because who really wants to sit up and get hurt? Nobody. Nobody wants to get hurt. But that's the norm. That's the new norm now. Who can out petty who? Who can out hurt who? What is the end game with that? Is there one? Is there an end game for that? You know, people don't know how to talk no more. People want to fight. People want to argue. Fuck all that. What I'm arguing with you for? What's really gonna get solved? What's really gonna get figured out? Nothing. Nothing gonna get figured out, man. Nothing get all. Then you at one end of the couch, he at the other end of the couch, and y'all just mean mugging each other. Motherfucker, I hate you. Why? Because y'all not mature enough to say, hey, you know what? Look, I ain't trying to be up in here like this with you. What's the issue? Let's keyword, word of the day. Let's talk. Nobody wants to talk anymore unless it's about bullshit. Know what I mean? Because let's talk about how 5 years ago when you did X, Y, and Z. Let's talk about 3 years ago when you did such and such so and so. Hmm. Okay. So throwing mudslinging. Mudslinging does what? Mudslinging does nothing. Because the truth of the matter is, if you're angry with me over something I did, by all means tell me. Please tell me. Let me atone for whatever crime I committed and make things better. I don't like stuff that lingers. I don't like stuff that the pot just sit there and boil and the water's boiling and it's getting steamed up. And if we in public, pull me to the side. Like, hey, when we get home, we need to talk because you kind of did something I didn't kind of make me feel a certain way. My apologies. Okay, when we get home, we'll talk it out. And people and yes, some people do like to hold on to the hurt, to their hurt, which creates the barrier to communicate. Exactly, because with that barrier up, and anybody that tries to come talk to them, and they're genuine in their approach, hurt people. And if that barrier is up, nobody want me. People have walls now. People have walls now that you would have to work and work and work to just tear a little bit down in order for you to get in. And my feeling is, if that person is worth it, climb that wall. Climb that wall and bring some of that wall down. Because you know what happens when you bring that wall down? Because that wall that they've built up around them, it's dark on the inside. They can't see the light. All they see is darkness because that's what was presented to them. But when you scale that wall and you take your hammer and chisel, that's known as communication and patience, and you bang that wall down. You bang that wall down to where it starts to become cracks. And in those cracks, the light starts to come through. That light being that person. And then at that point, when you start seeing that light, that genuine light, not a light flash in your eyes, but that genuine light, what happens is you're going to help that person tear down the rest of that wall because they know that when they come out that wall, they're coming into the arms of somebody whose arms, whose soul, whose intentions, whose love is stronger than any wall you could ever build. Think about that for a second. Think about that. But I tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this session for right now. I thank everyone, and I will see y'all soon.